This show is part of the HeadStuff podcast network.
Today on the podcast, we're being mindful. I've decided.
Okay.
Let's just be mindful.
That's a great
now.
idea. I think I need that. I'm in a real duvet day mode. I wore Crocs here.
You wore Crocs out of the house. Good for
I did,
you.
yeah.
You
Is
have
that
what
mindful?
colour are they? Avocado?
They're kind of fresh avocado colour. Got them off Jordan. He got too many pairs.
I have to shout out one of our listeners, Yasmin, because I talked about I got new Crocs. Look, we all have Crocs, right? New
Yeah,
Crocs.
I have Crocs.
And Yasmin sent a message. I was like, she said, if you go to Shoe in Jervis, they will take in your old shoes and recycle them and give you €5 off your new shoes.
Wow.
And if you bring in like 5 pairs of shoes, you can get €5 vouchers, but you have to use them at the one at a time. But anyway,
Wow.
Yasmin sorted me out, hooked me up with a pair of gorgeous green Crocs. Yasmin, my queen. And then I told her as
Yasmin,
well, I
thank
said
you so
to her,
much.
she said she missed my tickets in the Fringe because they sold out. And I said, when I announced Vicar Street on May 31st, I have now done that. I said, send me a message and I'll give you free tickets. And then yesterday, then she tagged me, she bought the tickets. And I said, I told you I would do. And she said, I'm happy to support the arts. So what a queen. Yasmin, my
Yasmin,
queen.
we love you.
We love
And
you,
all
but-
the gals in
but,
Shoe.
You'd ever want to have like one child feeling the favoritism a little bit more. So
Today, Yasmin is listener of the week.
yeah, but you know,
Well
Yasmin,
done,
spread
Yasmin.
the
You worked very hard.
the generosity.
Can I just say, I don't think you're being very mindful.
You're focusing on one child more.
You're
than,
not being very mindful.
She's not being mindful of. me
You're
and
not
Tony.
being mindful.
Do you know what? She's not being mindful of bloody Tony's bloody birthday.
She has bought
Thank you
us.
very
Should I just will pin in that? She did actually buy tickets to the Young Hot Guys.
Oh, was
Live.
Yasmin who
Okay,
bought
well,
both of our
Yasmin
tickets?
is the listener of the week. Welcome to listener
Thank you
of the
so
week,
much.
Yasmin.
It is so
And
easy to
let's
win our
just,
love.
Forget
Cash.
what I said there earlier.
Try and be mindful.
I'm being mindful.
They're attractive. They're very attractive.
Hot and loud.
And a little bit sad.
He was the best guy around.
Oh my, is it hot in here or what?
You're an attractive guy.
It's the fabulous Tony Cantwell.
I'm talking about Shane Daniel Byrne.
It's Halloween and it's also Reween.
Halloween.
All Hallow
Wrong.
Rera.
Halloween, the spookiest beer in Ireland. Ooh.
What's so spooky that it's light and fresh, but also premium? Brewed in Kilcool.
Sponsors of the Young Mad Guys podcast.
With big cans like a big monster.
All right, you lost.
No, they can't all be
Tony.
winners. Rerod,
Yeah.
thanks for sponsoring
Thanks
the
for
podcast.
sponsoring
Thank
it.
you for listening in.
And sorry about Tony.
Sorry about that.
But it was Tony's birthday.
Tony, it was your birthday.
Yeah.
It was my birthday. Thank you very much.
Did you have a
37 years
birthday
young.
party?
No, I didn't. The kids had a temperature, and we just kind of didn't even order a takeaway. Just kind of.
Well, Tony, a
Tony,
very
your
happy
birthday is
birthday.
now.
This is crazy.
We just pop poppers and they are, and
Have
Tony's
random-
happy.
and you have actual poppers that I can.
Yeah, we're,
No, well,
we're hoofing
yeah.
poppers today.
We can
No,
hoof poppers as well.
We're
Quite a
mindful.
bit of
Might get a
smoke
bit
off
of
those.
bang off that.
That is lovely, Tony.
Thanks so much, guys. That's
Aw,
actually brilliant. I actually
that's
love
good.
that. Thank you. That
Yeah.
makes me feel very
So
special.
how old are you
I
again?
got you a popper if you want to do it. As
Thank
well.
you so much. Sorry. Which way do you do it?
Just point it straight in our faces.
No, why'd you give him that? Ah!
That wasn't very good. That was a dud. Oh, God. Now I'm fucking depressed again.
That wasn't a dud. It nearly took my eye out.
No, I think it was a bit duddy. So, what did you do? Your children were sick, as
My children were
are.
sick, but we got up in the morning and Terry made me some, like a bit of a croque monsieur thing.
Is that a ham salmon cheese sandwich?
It's kind of a ham and cheese
fried,
sandwich
yeah?
fried in the air
Yeah,
fryer.
but-
Yeah.
And she gave me a lovely jumper and lovely cax. And then she later, when the kids then kind of were gone, because they came home from crash when they were gone, she gave me a gambit.
I was
toy.
so scared of what you were going to
Yeah,
say.
Jesus.
Then
When the kids were gone.
When the kids
Yeah,
were gone.
I was going to
She
say.
No, we couldn't have our scheduled right, unfortunately. We're just feeling a bit touched out. You know what I mean? Mas and
yeah.
dads will know. You feel a bit touched out, don't you? The kids are gragging.
They're scrubbing at you.
But she gave me an
Yeah.
X-Men figure that's like really rare from Japan that I love of Gambit. So I loved it. And I was sitting there, we were watching Bake Off, and I was just like, oh my God, there's like 10 different hands you can put on his hands.
You had
and different
to
facial
hide it from
expressions.
Sonny.
I did. I
This
genuinely
is
do.
Daddy's toy.
If he actually walked into my shed, he would be like, "What? It looks like Smiths in there. Like all the toys are up on the wall in their like in their plastic packs and stuff. All the Ghostbusters are there. You got the Rock and Mankind there.
It's such a betrayal.
It is such a betrayal.
This is something we didn't really anticipate. Like the Star Wars kids, when they became older and had their own kids, having to hide their toys from their own children.
I
Tony's
never
not
thought
a
of it.
Star Wars kid. Like,
I was a Star Wars
born
kid.
several years after that movie came out. Like, it's not that.
There was the special edition, reissue in '97.
we
and
were
that's kind
Star
of gone
Wars-y.
the
I
bandwagon.
actually watched. You'll be surprised, Killian. I watched all the Star Warses, each of the series, of the films,
Of
each
the
of them
films.
all the way up.
That's great.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
All 9.
yeah. I watched 9 Star
Oh my
Warses.
God! What did you think
I
of the
haven't even
Rise of
done that.
Skywalker?
I just enjoyed them. Raymond was giving out, and he'd be more
Good man.
in that world.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? That more geeks like you
Yes.
losers.
Freaks,
Yes.
Whereas I'd be out fingering birds.
yeah.
And
Obviously,
like
that's you, man.
he was like, they've just kind of given up on story on this. They're just like thing. But I was like, I liked it. I was like, oh, it's just real good and evil. I liked it. I always have liked Destiny. I always like, my fate. And I like the fact that she was just the best Jedi of them all. She was the best of all. She
Yeah,
could just do it all by herself.
Yeah.
She got the training, but she could
Little-
just do a load by
Well,
herself.
like she
feedback
did like a
course and
handful
the
of
level 7
days
and then-
training. Like she didn't finish the course. You know what I mean? And then she
Yeah.
barely knew Luke Skywalker. And then at the end, she's like, "My name is Rey Skywalker." And then she buries Princess Leia's remains on Tatooine. She's not even from Tatooine. She's from fucking Alderaan. Are you joking me?
Alderaan has exploded, no?
Alderaan did explode, but why is she putting him in Tatooine?
Because
Leia
that's
has
her
no connection
brother's
to
home.
Tatooine.
Ancestral home
It is her
ground.
brother's home, so technically it's the
nothing
closest
to do
thing
with
she
that
can have
at
to
all.
be home.
It's
Should run on
really
Yavin
the
4.
story of nepotism. Is Star
But
Wars.
I like the fact that they broke away from that fate thing in the Ryan Johnson one, and then you see a kid using force powers, and it's like, hey, anyone can be a Jedi. Let's sell you on what you felt in the 70s
There
again.
is
You
a
can
bit,
be
so
a Jedi.
you don't know that there was when was those films out? It's like
70s.
No, a few years ago. The ones
5 years ago, Rise of Jedi.
There's a little
Rise of
boy,
Skywalker.
and the little boy uses Jedi power. And Raymond and I were watching it, and I was like, we are going to be in our 60s, and there is going to be a film trilogy about that little boy.
100%.
Like, and it may be even the same little boy actor may grow up to be a man actor, and he'll be him. But I was like, isn't that mad? It
That's
would be in
mad.
our 60s or something, or maybe 50s. But like, I don't know, the Hollywood's gone so greedy.
They'll
No,
still
the streaming
flog that
model,
shit.
you know what I mean?
Woke. And very woke.
Yeah, oh, so woke.
Oh my God, mind virus much?
Hello, the woke mind virus. Not very mindful.
No, it's not at all. It's not at all. But
Yeah, no, I
Can we
suppose
just
that's-
say today we were supposed to? I haven't even asked if you'd be okay talking about this.
Sure.
But Tony was supposed to be like a little rocket ready to explode, and
This
we were
is
supposed
true.
to be talking to him from home. He was meant to be absolutely full of laxatives.
this is true. Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's not. I thought you were going to be like a kettle, almost about to just toot toot, but unfortunately, you just look
Like
pretty.
Monty Python's Meaning of Life, and I was bloated. My eyes
Yeah.
looked like they're about to pop out my skull. Yes, I had a scheduled colonoscopy tomorrow just to have a little goo. And
Exploratory.
Just exploratory.
Tony, this is your third colonoscopy this week. I'm starting to think you enjoy this.
I just want to see what else up there. Well, can you see a little army man down in there? Yeah, I was going to get a colonoscopy, but I rescheduled it instead because I found out the price
Yes.
of it. My doctor was like, "Yeah, do you want to get a fancy colonoscopy?" And I was like, "Yeah, great, yeah, oh yeah, I'll do it in like fancy, hospital." And then I was like, "Ooh, no, God, I'm not paying that for that, well,
Yeah.
especially if it's not that necessary."
I'd rather die.
I'd rather die, actually. So the day before the colonoscopy, you have to drink 6 liters of laxative.
6 liters.
Yes. And so they say you have to kind of be from home. So I was going to be Zooming from home on the bog, where
Sorry,
it is
guys.
very good Wi-Fi.
I'm thrilled we're here.
Me
because
too.
There was all sorts of permutations. It was going to be all of us in our homes. It was going to be me and Killian in here, Tony. And now this is just better.
This is much better.
just better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm loving this.
No, it's
Hey,
good to see you.
this is I'm having the time of my fucking life. I'm having the time of my fucking
my
life.
fucking life. This is
I'm making
great.
my podcast. I'm blowing party poppers. I'm having a fucking wonderful time.
Jesus.
Oh. What happened there?
I shot myself in the head.
Are you doing that for Halloween?
No, of course not.
Wow.
I haven't dressed up in years and years.
But you love a costume.
Yeah.
Not really.
No.
Not really. I suppose I've done a lot of costumes. I suppose that.
You have the biggest wig collection of anyone I know.
You gave
Yeah.
me a wig and I love it so much. It's I wore it the other day at the test tube babies in Cork.
Oh, how did that go?
It was fun. I did 2 characters on stage. It's
That's
like
a lot
a
of
night
fun.
in Cork. Roman Mark Maloney, shout out Mark. I know
Yeah.
he is an A-store of this podcast, Podcrail. And so yeah, it was fun. And then you just do silly stuff. And I did 2 characters. I did a student who was on placement, who I've done before, and then I did a ma'am who's doing stand-up.
Oh, that's
Oh,
good.
that's fun.
No, I did not plan that at all, and that was to my detriment.
Interesting.
People who were there in Collins the other day, like you'll remember, I said, I've got another character. I haven't really planned it. And do you want it? And they were all like, yeah. So I just did it. You're on your phone?
I'm sorry. I have to. My mum texted me before doing this,
Oh my God.
I'm mindful of mums.
and she said, "Hi, son." Kept
I
meaning
think
to
it's
say.
so funny she calls you son.
She says, "Hi, son," and then she signs it off. Thanks,
son.
son. XXX mum. Every single message
Okay.
in WhatsApp, like every message.
Wow.
She said, "Hi, son." Kept meaning to say, "You can donate blood, and they need donors." They waived that whole mad cow disease and living in England thing. Sadly for Shane, the homosexual thing for blood is
Shane
still
the
a thing.
sadly for Shane the homosexual.
Why did she say homosexual?
I'm passing no comment on this further. Look, the restrictions have changed for men who have sex with men, so everyone can go and look them up online. But
Yeah.
So you can.
Well, if you're someone like me who thought that you were born in England during the mad cow disease period and that you couldn't donate blood, you actually can now. You can.
Right.
They don't mind our filthy English blood, and there are changed restrictions in terms of
they have loosened the restrictions.
They've loosened them.
Just to,
I would like to know though if it was English blood. You know what I mean? If I was
Yeah.
lying there bleeding out, and they were like,
Yeah.
"Now look, it is English." I'd be like,
We're legally required to.
I'd probably
Don't give it
push
to me.
down on my
Don't.
neck and get it
I
off.
don't fucking. I don't want to.
No, I'd very much welcome English blood.
Can I say one of Mike Rice's jokes? Comedian and friend Mike Rice.
Yes.
He was talking about going out with an English woman,
Oh yeah.
but her parents are Irish.
Okay.
And then everyone's like, ooh, boo, she's English. And her parents are Irish. Like, well, then he says, the mind is sick, but the blood is pure. And I
That's
just
so funny.
think that's so funny.
That's
By the
beautifully
time this
succinct.
podcast will have come out, I will have done my show in London, and Mike Rice opened as a surprise. And God, he was fantastic, I'd say.
Oh, he's bloody
God.
brilliant.
I'd say
so
he was
good.
brilliant.
Yeah.
I'd say he was
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah.
That's great. If you went to go see him and it wasn't Mike Rice, he probably had the shits.
He probably pulled
You
out.
probably did. Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
texted him and said, are you okay for Monday before I post you? And then he was like, what's this now, lad? And I was like, oh my God.
Oh, that's cool.
Like weeks ago, we put it in the cal.
I admire a fellow kind of like, I don't have a calendar, other people are my calendar. Other people freaking out on my calendar.
Yeah.
Being like, just to remind you, but you have that thing. Oh, yeah, cool, nice. It's nice getting a little bonus surprise, being like, oh, someone's made a little plan for me. That's great.
I had a meeting this morning, and now it's with someone I'm working with who is a friend. And he texted me last night saying, are we still on for 11 tomorrow? And I felt like saying, of course. Of course we are. Why, we haven't
What's
changed.
changed?
What's changed?
What's changed?
What's changed? And then I said, why would I waste my energy? No, don't worry about that.
Yeah. Remember back in the old days, you'd be like, meet you outside the Cleary's clock around noon. You know what I mean? People would be standing there fucking their mouths open, mouth agape, just fucking doing nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'd just be standing there. You didn't have a phone to look at. You're just standing there for an hour. And that was fine. And that was fine.
I admire.
What an awful
Sometimes I
time.
look at older people just having a sit and just having a look, a stare, no paper, no nothing, just like looking at, not even looking at people so much, just kind of looking at the middle distance, having a think.
Yeah.
You see an old lad like the door open, and he's got his iron shirt on.
love that.
His iron shirt on with his jumper over it, tucked in with his belt and his cacks, and shoes and socks on.
Braces, maybe.
Just stand.
Maybe braces.
Maybe braces.
Yeah.
But he's put all
And
that gear
probably
on.
racist
He's,
as well,
he's not
yeah.
there with his, with his pennies minions pajamas. Do you know
No.
what I mean?
Yeah.
That he wears up until 4 o'clock
He's
every day.
dapper. He puts on a
Yeah.
Sunday
He's dapper.
best.
I
when he
like
goes
that.
out.
They used
all
to wear
that.
a hat.
Yeah.
All men used to wear hats.
I saw when I was in Germany. I saw this is the most German-looking man I've ever seen. But he was one of those guys who'd really dressed up, and he had this is a new thing because I haven't seen this in Germany. But it was a sausage, but it was like a thin one like that, and he had it in his mouth like a cigar,
He had like was it thin like a pepperami?
like a pepperami, and he had it in his mouth like a cigar.
Are you sure this isn't a 1930s caricature of a German
I saw it
in the British press?
I saw it with my own two eyes.
sausage munching kraut.
And that was like, and he looked
You know
proper
him, chap,
dapper.
they don't
And
smoke
I was like, oh, he's
fags,
got
they
a
smoke-
cigar. Then I looked at it and I was like, is that a sausage?
They're all
Is that
sucking on
Wurst?
sausage over there.
Is that Wurst, man?
Bloody Hirschfield. Okay, well that's interesting. My dad is not one of those really old men. He's not that old. My dad crept into my house the other day. He was over.
Oh, wow.
He was over on a collection job.
That's how hard it is to get it to be invited into Shane's
invited
house.
his
You
own
have to
father.
fucking bring a Phillips head screwdriver for the vents, take them off, slide
No, he
in,
got-
roll your body up.
I don't like
to
people
make-
in because
to better
he'll
the
look. I
house.
hadn't swept the rug, right, and
my
I
God.
know that he'd have noticed the rug. And then my
whisper
mother,
to your
the
mother,
two of them are
"I
listening to
heard about the rug."
The two of them are home listening to this
He
now.
much prefers to be held at
So
an
they're
arm's
going,
length.
"Shh, stop, let's talk about you on the podcast. Stop." Shh. The two of them are doing that now in the house. I can see them pretending they don't listen to the podcast, despite openly speaking to me about the podcast. And so he'll report back, and then anyway.
He crept in.
If the thing anyway, he crept in because he was just
Down the
getting
chimney.
a thing, and he crept. No, I gave it to him outside the door, and then he was admiring the plants at the front that my mother had bought. We discussed them. Anyway, he crept in, and then we were talking about Sinn Féin's troubles, and my dad said, I was like, why did your man think he can get away with texting a young person in the first place? And then my dad's, and I can't believe it came out of his mouth, and I was shook. He said, I mean, I'm assuming we're talking about dick pics. I just was like, I don't think that's for him to say.
Oh, wow.
I think if you are, and I make fun of him, a pensioner.
Yes, sure.
Pensioners should not be talking about, even if they're sprightly. He was in a pair of Sambas, so
Oh
you know,
my
yeah,
God.
he's trendy. But even if you are a trendy pensioner, no, you're not to be saying dick pics, and you're not to be creeping into your son's home.
Do you know the
What
way
should
it
he have
is
said?
that, like,
Genitalia photo?
you know,
I
when you
don't
have
know, but
kids
I
that
was
are
just
so
like talking
young.
about the thing broadly. You can say, I was like, don't mind that it's like criminal or whatever, but like, why do you think, how did the Sinn Féin man think he could get away with it? It was like, I'll just text this young fella. Like the arrogance of thinking the young fella might want to text, and also I shouldn't say young fella, it's minimizing it, the young person.
Yeah.
But like the arrogance of thinking that he wants this, that it's solicited in some way, but also the foolishness to think you can get away with it. That's what I was talking about, broadly speaking. And
Wow.
he went straight to dick pics.
Dick pics.
And Raymond was cooking the stew at the time. Do you know what I mean? He was, the whole place was Sunder.
Not in my house.
Not in my home. Look, I don't begrudge the man having a sneak in. He crept in. But I just think boundaries.
You're
you know.
talking about your father
And that's
here.
why. It, yeah,
And what do you think
the
of
man,
all-
the man in this case being my father,
Yes.
not the Sinn Féin man at all.
And what did he think of your fine art dick pics that you have hanging on the wall?
Do you know? I think that actually maybe is why he said dick pics, because there
I
is
can't stop thinking about anything else.
there is a
Oh, yeah,
penis on
pop
the
in
wall.
for a second.
It's a
in their
painting
house.
of a penis. No, there's only one in there.
Yeah, yeah.
I just looked down at the rug. Oh my God, it hasn't swept.
Yeah.
And why is it a cock? Why is the rug even a cock?
Is the rug cock shaped?
The rug is not a cock shape.
Rug is
It's
not
a nice
cock-shaped.
rug
It's a
that
lovely
Raymond's
rug.
man
handles
gave
are
us.
also the penis handles on the doors. That's quite hard for him because he's like trying to tie up. Like he
love the way
takes out his handkerchief and he, yeah.
I have this
Because
incredibly.
they would have a handkerchief. You're right, Killian. He would have one. So he has the cool Adidas runners on, but he'd also have a handkerchief in the back pocket. You know,
I have this incredibly offensive idea that Shane's house is like the Willy Wonka factory of cocks. It's so awful.
rude.
there's two in the there's two in the bathroom.
One in the stink.
And there's one in the
No, there's two in the
sitting room.
stink in the
I
bathroom.
got taken off Instagram before I posted the painting, and the painting's a bit realistic but a bit not realistic, and Instagram was like, whoa, take that down. I used to
Is it Shane Berkery's?
It's Shane Berkery is the
Yes.
artist. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Brilliant friend of mine. You should check him out. Shane Berkery.
That's wonderful.
Amazing Japanese
I
art
love
artist.
seeing people who can turn cockdoodles into, an a pastime that you do in school to high art and make it your whole life. I think
I did
it's
a long
phenomenal.
joke with him that I was like, I want to pose for the painting. He's like, yeah, we'll have you, no bother. Haha. And then he was like, oh, we'll have to get Killian in as well. I was like, yeah, get us both in. And we had a long back and forth joke. The joke's now, I think, ceased.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
for a while, it was a running thing of like, when are we doing our
Nudie.
when are we posing for you? Ha ha ha. But we're not. It's not.
Well, I don't know if I can even. But when we were younger, Shane was always an amazing artist. He did like really cool stuff. I think he did. Like Sinead O'Connor asked him to do something on the wall when he was like 16 or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Then he got a tattoo gun and he tattooed. And so a lot of my friends have like tattoos, but they're all unbelievable. Like Ryan from the Sleaze has a big heart that says "mom" in it. I think he just came to him. He had this idea. He was like, "What if I get a heart?" And then like, but what is like something that you love so much?
Sure.
And then he thought "mom," and he didn't think "mom." Like that's what he would say "mom," but he thought "mom." And so
Wow.
he got that, and it's just here on the arm here. And it's a heart with mum in it. And I haven't seen that. In
That's
anyone
incredible
else.
because
Yeah.
most people go for like an obvious shape, like a circle or a square, maybe triangle.
No, he went for heart.
Heart is maybe the fifth or sixth most popular.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Whoa,
No,
whoa,
so
whoa, whoa.
I think he's so far the only person to have that tattoo.
Wow.
Yeah.
I do also have a tattoo of heart, says man.
Yeah. Where?
It's the wrong breast. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Right there. That's sick. Did you see Ryan's and then?
No. No.
When did you get that? Buddy?
No, I thought of it myself. I did sound like I was browsing. Tagged photos of Ryan. Like that. No, I actually got that from my mom for like I forgot Mother's Day, and then she was like,
She's not happy about it at
Forgot
all.
Mother's Day, so you were like, I got you this.
I got you this, and she's like, I don't want
Destroyed
that.
my chest.
I don't want that at all.
Can the present be you getting rid of it?
She was like, it's really naff. It's naff. And I think I should.
It's hack.
It's quite hack, yeah. And I think I was having a fight with someone one time, and I was a friend of mine, Helen. She had like a 20-year-old girl tattoo of like a paper airplane or something like that. And I was like, oh, paper airplane, how original. And she goes like, oh, and a fucking heart with ma on it is fucking original.
Good
and I was
for
like,
you, Helen.
You said you liked that one. You said you liked that when I got it. We're all sitting there with unbelievable slags for people that we just never say. It's quite empowering sometimes just to have, like, I think I need to make an Excel spreadsheet because I keep forgetting them.
Yeah,
And just
them in
have
your
the
back
worst
pocket.
possible thing I can say to anyone.
Yeah, Raymond and I have a joke at home. It's more Raymond's joke of like when you're your kids and he'd say, I could have you crying. You know I could have you crying.
Oh, yeah.
Just the threat
Oh
of
my
what
God.
how you could upset
Can
someone.
have you crying?
So we'll say that to each other. I mean, we probably could. Like,
I know my
could.
mates who could have me crying very comfortably. There's like a handful. I'm like, oh, I know that you're really sitting.
They
you
have the
wouldn't
file
wanna-
in the back of their head.
100%.
Of the things that they could say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're often quiet.
Is that mindful?
Is it mindful?
We're not
Probably
really being
not.
very mindful on this.
We need
week's
to be
Mindful
more
podcast.
We're not
mindful.
being
We do need to be more
mindful.
mindful.
We need to be more
Okay.
mindful.
Be a little bit more
I
mindful.
think, especially for men.
Men aren't mindful at all.
Men are not mindful.
Men-
No, and their mental health.
Men's mental health.
Yeah.
And men's dental health. This is Men's Dental Health Week as well.
Yeah. It's 50% off.
In all, we need talk to your dad about his dental
Talk
health.
to your
health.
dad about the dentist.
Let him
okay?
in your house. Let him creep in, and when he's in there, talk to him about his dental health. Men's
to your
dental health
dad
is
about his
so
cavities.
important.
You
we
there's
need to really
cavities in the
change that
heart.
conversation.
No.
That's why we're starting a podcast called Mind Your Chompers, right? We're going to get some men in here just to talk about dental health, to change the conversation on it. It should be more than brushing just twice.
And it happens to you never know who's impacted.
Never.
No.
Could be anyone.
George Washington.
Could be, well, George Washington actually quite famous and well known actually.
Famously, yeah.
but it could be, Dublin rapper or something. They could have.
They
dental
could.
health.
Yeah.
We'll find them.
Or
we'll find
Henry Cavill.
Could
Do
have.
you think he's
Henry
I'd say he
Cavill.
probably has American teeth?
Well, ever since I saw the Tom Cruise kind of symmetry thing of people drawing lines straight down his face to see
Yeah.
that he has a tooth right in the middle
Yeah.
and he doesn't have perfectly symmetrical teeth. That's all I can see. Now, I wish no one had ever drawn that line.
Ryan Gosling's eyes are a little too close together.
Don't tell me that shit.
Yeah, you'll see it
I don't
now.
want to see that
No,
shit.
you'll
Yeah,
see
he
it
has
now.
one kind of lazy-ish eye, isn't it?
You'll see it, but they're a little bit too close together.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
but he has
God.
lovely. He's lovely.
He does have
He's
lovely
a
Oh my
lovely
god,
face, Ryan
he's a
Gosling.
freak. His eyes are too close together. I look at him, I'm like, what the fuck happened here?
Mm.
Like, did someone just kind of go bing when he was a baby and just squeeze his head together? He looks ridiculous.
That's
Oh.
We're way more handsome than him.
not very mindful.
Sorry, that's not mindful.
mindful.
Because as you know, mindful means
Oh my god,
whatever you
Ryan!
want.
If you're listening to this, Gosling,
Ryan from the Sleaze. If you're listening, I'm sorry. I did
Ryan
say that
Disease
earlier.
I think is the one who pointed it out.
Wow.
Yeah, Ryan's taking down Ryan's, and that's what society's doing. It's pinning Ryan's against each other.
It's
And
awful.
I hate seeing it.
And that's why we're changing the
I
conversation.
hate seeing it.
Pierce Morgan, as I've said time and time again, has eyes that look like they're trying to escape down the side of his cheeks. Like they're so far apart. It looks like he's crying his eyes down his cheeks, like he's a Japanese anime girl.
Just mindful week is us just slagging people's appearance.
we haven't been very mindful.
It's mindful.
Mindfully doing that.
Do it mindfully.
Do you listen to music in your spare time?
Do you know I've actually been struggling to think of what to listen to?
Oh my god! Well, that is
Do you know how I
incredible
started-
because there is a new Sleaze EP that is available to listen to right now.
We're like fucking
I know that you
QVC on this
guys
podcast. We're
weren't-
always selling you shit.
You weren't meant to tee that up,
Yes.
but why not?
Do it quickly.
Why not talk about it? We got a new Sleaze EP. It's called "Doomed Are the Devils."
Wow.
We recorded. It's a load of songs that we've recorded from the ages of written from the ages.
Didn't you
of
tell me that-
18 to 22 or something like that. Really young, and
Oh,
we
wow,
had them
okay,
there,
sorry.
and we were like, why don't we just record these and then have them put them somewhere? So we just recorded them in the shed where we practice, and it's out now called "Doomed Are the Devils."
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And you guys
Make
can
a
listen to
perfect
it.
gift
Sorry.
for Halloween.
Yeah. Well, you can't buy
pretty
it.
spooky.
It's not. It's just on Spotify to stream, just to hang out.
Stream.
We're doing a launch party for the Sleaze EP
CZP.
on the 1st of November in Workman's. So we'll see.
Oh,
We'll see
wow.
lots of you guys
It's
there.
in my calendar. You can take selfies with Killian.
Yeah.
He insists upon it on stage.
Okay.
You know as well, if you go to comedy gigs and you like the comedian, you can take a selfie with them. People are always so shy about that.
They love
No,
that.
dude.
Do you know what we love? That.
'Cause it can be-
Fucking love it. Do you know how
God.
cool it feels when the other comedians don't get selfies and you get one? Fuck yes! I could die on my arse, right? Have the worst gig of my life, and then someone will be like, do you mind if we get a picture? I'm like, baby, you changed my life.
I don't even look at the camera. I look at
snog
the
them.
other
God.
I
comedians.
snog them. Yeah. I just look back at the other comedians into their eye, like the new comedian who might be doing the 5-minute slot. I'm like, you want this? You want? Oh,
This
that's
is what
terrible.
this is
terrible.
what you could be like.
I feel bad sometimes because I have my gigs. I actively seek out the selfies and I go to the lobby after the gigs and I'm like looking around like looking like I'm busy, but I'm actually here. Like, ask me if you want to take a photo of me.
Take your phone and
Yeah,
change
I go to the lobby as well, but I think that's a good way of like meeting the people who
I do
are,
want to meet people, but I don't know who to talk to, so I always look
like
like, is my phone? You know, I look a bit confused and a bit
I
sad.
have to run to box office quickly.
Yeah, sorry, just got to check something there. Oh yeah, I don't mind get a photo.
When you change direction, when you're walking down the street and you realize you're walking the wrong way, that's kind of that thing. You just pause for a second and then you kind of just pat your pockets and then you kind of go, and then you turn around.
No,
Can
I
I
spin
say,
around. I spin around like.
yeah.
With my
I'm
feet
over
up.
that. I don't care.
You're over it, yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
care.
that must be something
I
happens
don't
in your
give.
mid-30s.
I'm too busy.
Yeah.
There's no need to throw age into it. You're gonna get so ugly so soon. Like
You're gonna
Can't
say,
wait for that now.
you're gonna be
I could have you
such a
crying.
little pig. I could have you crying. You know I could have you
I'm
crying.
about to
Killian.
start having you crying.
I'm about to have you crying. No, I don't. I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about eating in a restaurant by myself. I'm not worried about going to the cinema by myself. Move past it. Move past it. What a waste of time. You could be hit by a bus.
I couldn't imagine nothing better than going to the fucking cinema and eating a meal by myself.
That is one of the great
I'm actually
things.
going to fucking do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Would you
doing that
go?
tomorrow.
Did you
You
see
know
both your
those
kids have a
cinemas where you
temperature,
can get like.
You're like, Terry, you take care of the young ones.
Would you do? You know, in the cinema, you could get like those ones that like the Stella and Ramines. You can have like a big meal at the cinema. Would you go to that on your own? Would you lay out on the couch on your own? I think
No.
that might be a bit much.
I'm going to go and
No,
get one of
it's
those
not anonymous.
microwavable roasts. You know those roasts that you can microwave that are in the thing and they're like plastic? I'm going to have a hot one in my bag. I'm going to pour it into a plate.
In the
I'm
cinema?
gonna-
I'm
cinema,
not. I'm gonna
eat
have
a
one of those
fucking
beach
roast.
barbecues. You know those like disposable beach barbecues. I'm gonna have one of them
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
cinema.
yeah.
Just put it on the seat. Now I'll book the extra seat.
Yeah.
Not to be rude.
I'm
And
gonna
I'll
do
put a few
one of them
sausages.
tea light candle fondues.
That's a great.
That's what I'm
Why don't
gonna
we all
do.
go together to the cinema and
Sit
book-
separately.
Yeah, sit
That's
separately
great.
and just I'll be over. See who gets kicked out first.
I remember my mate was
You
eating
take
chicken
the
royale.
tea
and got
light
kicked out.
fondue lad, because two of you go that way, because that's hot. That could
That's
get
hot,
dangerous.
actually. That would burn your hand now moving him.
Are they strict on? Are you really strict about that in the food?
You can't
in
be
the
eating
cinema?
a chicken royale, I found out, in the Savoy.
Fuck off.
Just don't ask me how I know that.
What do you have a fuck up? Once when I worked in the cinema very
It's only one
briefly.
way. You could find that. Fucking, you brought one in, didn't you?
No, my mate Joe did, and they only took one bite of it, and then they were like, "You can't eat that here. What are you doing?" And he was like, "Oh," and then he went out and he came back and it was gone, and I was like, "What you do with it?" He's like, "I just put it in the bin." I was like, "I would have eaten that," and then I was kind of
Which
sulking.
bin?
Yeah, yeah, which bin? And I was sitting there kind of sulking, watching The Dark Knight Rises, being like, "Would you give me a fucking chicken roll?" You know, I hate food waste, especially if I could have eaten it.
Yeah.
You know. But,
Especially if you, that's
especially.
that's the main.
you can bring in your own popcorn. I once brought in a garbage bag full of popcorn into a London cinema. They didn't even bat an eyelid. Now my mate Charlie, who was a bit older than us and kind of had more disposable income and a bit more respect for himself.
Was it Prince Charles?
It was
'Cause
Prince Charles.
Your mate Charlie, you were living in England. I'm just wondering.
It was my
Prince
mate,
Charles?
yeah. And then like he reached over to grab the popcorn, and I was like, sausages, and I started nibbling on his fingers.
Yeah, it's hard because the
And it
fingers.
was so difficult. And I'm like, I didn't even bring sausages in here. No, he was mortified when I arrived with a trash bag full of popcorn. He didn't say it at the time, but then someone else said it to me after it being, I heard you brought a trash bag of popcorn to the cinema.
Trash bag.
And how did he find out? And he said he mentioned it in his Christmas speech.
yeah.
Did you see him get shouted at by the New Zealand?
did. I thought that was brilliant.
I loved it too.
That was
Not my
excellent to
king.
see.
I loved what she said. If you missed it, the New Zealand politician, who is, I don't know her origins, but First Nations, whatever the correct term is. But she was like, "You did a genocide on our people," and then she said, "You stole from us," and she went, "Our bones, our skulls, our babies." I was like,
Oh my.
"So
They were putting them in museums and stuff. That's
Yeah.
what that's.
I know,
in
but just to
reference
hear
That's
those,
amazing.
just to hear it right in front of
Yeah.
him and his stupid face.
Because he's protected from that, and it's nice to see someone. That's something that people talk about all the. But it's nice to just see someone like standing there and he's in the
When
same
you're
room and
confronted
going,
with the
you're
stark
part of that.
reality of it,
You're
yeah.
part of that. You're part of that, and you're still living on the spoils.
They think that they are divinely entitled to sit on those thrones by God.
Insane.
I find this quite offensive as someone
Insane.
who was obviously born in the same
One of
hospital
his
as
subjects.
same hospital as Kate Middleton.
Were you born in the same hospital?
Oh, sorry,
Kate Middleton?
Queen Kate Middleton or whatever. her
She's
name
Princess
is.
Kate, I think.
Princess
yeah.
Kate.
Oh, it's
So I
also
was
important
born in
to
the
get it
same
right.
hospital.
It'd be weird if she was queen. And
I
he's
think
like,
she will be a queen.
Charles like, she's my wife now. I want your bird.
Prima Noctra.
Prima nocta.
What's that mean?
That's the thing in Braveheart.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
It's again, I will say it is remarkable how often Braveheart comes up.
Not enough in my book. It's a
Well,
great movie.
I wish we were one of those giant American podcasts that could have like a whole team and someone could produce like, compilations of our podcast.
Every mention
and
of
they like
Braveheart.
every mention of Braveheart.
Yeah.
Braveheart.
Braveheart.
How do you get that? Do we have to be rich?
If anyone would like to make a compilation of every time we've mentioned Braveheart, please do send that
They're
to
so-
at
there is-
YHG
I know,
Pod.
don't.
mindful
Some boy
ways of
will do
spending
that
your
now.
time. Much more mindful ways of spending your
There
time.
really is. I'm actively seeking out to change my change the conversation and change my mind around Braveheart because I would like Gladiator to be a better film, even though I think that Braveheart is a better film.
You
Because
think Braveheart is better than Gladiator?
Graveyard.
I do think Braveheart is better than Gladiator. But I'm looking to change my mind because I am going to be meeting Paul Mescal at the Gladiator.
Yeah, well, you're not the
premiere.
only one because Killer got an invite too.
Well.
So and Mescal will be in attendance, and I sent it to Anna, and she said, "Well, I mean,
I did not
said,
get invited.
You better get tickets for that." And
I did not get invited.
Wow.
You didn't get invited.
Wow.
I would bring you as my plus one, but I think Anna would break up with me.
Why don't I get it? This is what I'm curious. Why not?
Well, I'll tell you
Is it
how
because I always slag off things like that?
Yeah, I think so.
And I'm not interested in it?
I think it's.
I got put on the
Probably 'cause you
list
got-
because I have personally messaged all of the marketing teams and asked if I can be on the list of premieres.
Right.
Because I'm a weirdo like that.
I
I'm
don't
a
know why.
desperate freak.
I think I just look a lot like a lot of the characters in the film, like Pedro Pascal. A lot of people say I look like him. Paul Mescal. I mean, that's
Marhampla.
Marhampla. Paul
Mescal.
Denzel Washington in my own way. So it's like I think that's.
I got
probably why.
invited to the premiere of something to do with Pharrell Williams.
Oh, the Lego movie that he's in.
Yeah, and I was reading it and I was like thanks for the invitation or whatever. But I obviously was like third or fourth tier on this invite list because it got to me, like, which as you know, I don't get invited to things. But it was like getting worse. It was like film about the incredible music star of our time. And I was like, okay. And it's like Pharrell Williams. You're like, oh, okay. And then you read on further, it's like told through the amazing world of Lego. I was like, oh my God. Do you think I've nothing better to be doing?
Oh my God.
I got you know what I got invited to? They opened a few pubs.
Oh, that's
What the
I kind of like that.
That's cool.
Why would I go? In your free time, in your free time, going off to. Well,
Look,
we're all here on
That's like the
whatever
only one
Balls
that I actually
Bridge.
wouldn't mind to go to.
For most
in
listeners
terms
who
of
would
outfit.
love to be invited
some
to the
restaurant
opening
in Balls
of a free
Bridge.
pub.
What would you be doing at that? Like have you nothing better to be doing?
Sometimes
Go out with your
these,
own friends. What are you? This is why I don't get invited. But oh my God, going to the reopening of a restaurant. Look, if the PR girls are listening, I'm sorry. The comms girls, I'm sorry. I don't mean to slag your work, but like, who would be going?
I love your work, I have to say. I'm a huge fan of your work.
Look,
the
we all
comms
have
girls.
jobs. We all have jobs.
Afric, Aoife, you're doing a great job. Sive, you're absolutely smashing it. Please do keep me in all
I-
And
that.
various people called Fee. You don't know what their
Sometimes
full
they'll
name is,
send
but
you the
she goes by
email, but
Fee.
like it's obvious that like the person above who they wanted didn't like. Sometimes you'll literally get an email that's been copy and pasted, and they didn't bother changing the name, and it literally says, "Dear Garen, we would love to invite you, but it's to your." And you're
The
like,
amount
"What the
of
fuck?"
dear Michael Fry
Yeah.
I have gotten that are like backdated by like 10 days.
Yeah.
So now I know that Michael waited 10 days to say no.
Start slagging off shit and you won't have this stuff littering your inbox. Start
Shane,
slagging
we would
it
love you
off.
to be at the Pharrell thing.
I'm an
Shane
artist.
Byrne.
I'm
And can you
sorry.
please bring your old rugby kit? We'd love to see it. An icon of rugby. We would
I
love
did
to
get
see.
emails for the Irish rugby player Shane Byrne before.
Did you?
Yeah, there's been a few mix-ups over the years, and I emailed him and I messaged him on Twitter and I said, "Oh, I got your email, such and such from such a place says thanks to you and Anne for coming." And then he didn't write back, and I was like, "All right, you miserable fucker." You know what I mean? It's a bit of a laugh. It's just a bit of a laugh. I got put down as Shane Byrne the other day. I was annoyed. I wrote
Oh my
back
God,
straight
his
away, and I was like,
birth
"Thanks
name.
for that." I will
Livid.
say that's not my name.
Absolutely livid.
You're just gonna get a load of jokes about lineouts from a man with a mullet, if that's what you keep doing.
Yeah.
Wasn't he on something?
Dancing with
Dance
the
with the
Stars?
Stars.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
So there you go.
Still holding out now for, maybe, actually, who we kid, maybe 6 years down the line when I'm a kind of laughing stock. and they'll be like, we'll bring in Tony. You know, he's let himself go. He'll be the kind of joke
On Dancing with the Stars?
On Dancing with the Stars. You know.
Would you do it?
I mean, look, I probably will have to.
The Foxtrot?
I know some of the cast this year.
Do you? Who's on it?
I'm not telling you.
I also know some of the
It's
cast.
not me.
And I know one of the cast, and that person, I almost gave a pronoun.
Yeah.
there.
Don't know
Oh my
pronouns.
God.
Very specifically said, do not mention it. And I think they were thinking specifically of this podcast.
Yeah,
Is he
but
not happy
now
with it?
isn't that fun? They.
Oh, they're non-binary. You
It's
get
a
it away.
non-binary person. Who's a famous non-binary? now?
Bambi
Is there
Thug
one?
is going to be on Dancing with the Stars.
Bambi Thug
Bambi Thug would
Bambi Thug
fucking
is
kill it.
way too big for Dancing with the Stars.
for them.
Yeah, too big for them. No, I'd love to do it because the reason it would be, first of all, I know this sounds crazy but I've always wanted to dance. I've always been enabled. I always wanted to be able to dance, and I know you guys don't think that about me, but that's one of my big passions in life.
Well, as an Englishman, it's hard because guilty feet have got no rhythm,
Yeah,
famously.
and so I think it would be really cool to learn that, but also I think you get into great shape.
Yeah, they all get in great shape.
Like that would be
Yeah.
class.
I've made a purpose to my life to keep women, aside from my wife, out of my life. And I don't want anyone, a dance partner, hugging, touch my hips or any of that carry on. I wouldn't
Well,
want
if
to
you
do
did it, you could dance with a man instead.
it. Okay,
You could request that like Panty
that
did.
might be worse. That might be worse for my marriage.
Tony
Can you
is
do
so
break
close
dancing?
to having a gay affair.
I
Like,
know.
Tony is just
I'm on a
ready.
fucking
He's
razor's edge.
I know you have your thing of like you don't want to do like smooching and stuff
Yes.
or actual sex acts.
Yeah.
You want to be cuddled by a
I
man.
want to be held by a man.
But like you're so close.
I'm so,
Yeah,
oh
so
my
you're
God.
almost
close.
there.
Yeah.
Nice edge.
Yeah.
So look, if you'd like to see that, please petition me to Dancing with the Stars.
Next year, don't wait 6 years. Do it next year.
No, I
See,
don't
you
know.
have to because you have Good Boy on RTE Player.
On RT Player. Well, I did see a scathing tweet from Marty Whelan year before last when they announced Dancing with the Stars cast, and he was like, "It's all RTE. They should call it bloody Dancing with the Canteen."
That's good.
Yeah, but that's a bad example of. I know people complain about RTE have all RTE people. It's like, yeah, but a lot of the people on television are on RTE television. So who else are you going to like? Of course.
Look, okay, maybe.
This canteen, people love people are always asking about the canteen.
Have you ever been to the canteen?
They
Yes.
only reopened it because it was it was covered full of rats.
Was it?
Yeah, it was full
Yeah.
of rats.
And that's how the whole Ryan Tuberty thing got exposed. I beat you, Killian.
See, you,
I'm a
you
better
just need to be
comedian,
more
a better man.
You need to be
Better
more
lover.
assertive, Killian.
Yeah.
If you're going to
Yeah.
get over the zingers, you need to be assertive
It's hard
singers.
to get in because Shane does that.
Yeah.
He's good at
All
that.
right, you obviously had that. You have something to say.
I make you fucking
I can
cry
have you
now.
cry.
I could have you crying. I could
I
have
love
you
this new
crying.
live we have.
Yeah. Well, don't forget it
Can I-
is
oh,
Raymond's.
Can I just say I watched Good Boy. With my whole family.
This
I
is so.
absolutely loved it. I have the
you so much.
Sundermann. I sent it to you. Will I play it? This is the Sundermann review of Good Boy. By the way, guys, please go watch Good Boy. This is someone who has I'm not on the payroll. I don't have, and it doesn't benefit me at all if you guys watch Good Boy. It is so good.
Thank
And
you
if
so much.
Worry about like RTE. Oh, they don't fund anything good. RTE. Oh, they're never doing the things that I like. This is them funding something that is.
Wow.
Well, I mean, I'm saying it's
You're
something you like
shouting.
because it's
You're
so
shouting.
good.
You're shouting.
Because there's room. Can we have
Thank
room?
you so much.
Even mindful.
Wow.
And it, like watch it and show them.
Heart's beating in my chest
Watch
right
it
now.
and show them. And this
Like
is
a
what my
hummingbird.
family thought.
Just watched first 2 episodes of Good Boy,
Wow.
and this is the Sundermann family reviews. Well, I think it's a 10 out of 10. Incredible show. Wow, I can't believe you've done it. You and the rest of the crew. This is Carla, who's just in from Berlin. Carla, what do you think? 10 von 10.
Wow.
That's 10 from 10 in German. Fiona, my mum, what do you think of the show?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
That's
Irish.
They're all
for-
funny.
That's Irish for 10 out of 10. Helmut, what do you think of the show?
Sehr lustig, ein guter Schauspieler.
Wow.
Ist gut, klasse.
That's him saying very funny. He's a good actor.
Wow.
Why did he do that in German?
When you sent that to me,
Because everyone was doing a little thing.
what made me so happy about that is the fact that you're doing a bit comfortably in front of your family. And like that's not cringe for you, and it shouldn't be. It's lovely, and I love the fact that you are the exact same person on a voice note with your family that you are in every room. That's insane. You don't go home and you're like,
Unfortunately, that was the first 2 episodes. I went very downhill.
yeah,
after
look,
that.
yeah, but You can watch those two again.
It's so good. Go watch it, please. It's
Thank
brilliant.
you so much. I love you so much.
I know it's really good.
I really appreciate
well
it.
Well done. I'm delighted. I was watching. I was like, "This is fucking class." I'm so happy.
Thank you
Something
very much.
good.
That's very
And
sweet.
Shane got the last joke in. Very funny last joke.
Very funny last
Shane
joke.
plays like a guy, like a normal.
Like a
just
normal
cool
guy.
dude.
Yeah.
It was really impressive.
I'm only in it briefly.
You're very natural.
Yeah,
I have to
but
I
it's
say.
got
very
this,
like
People
natural.
are sending me messages going, "Oh my god, you were so funny." I was like, "Come on now."
You were very
I
good.
was like, perhaps I'm overly modest at times, but I was like, for goodness sake, I'm only in it for a minute. It was hardly a chore.
You were the only actor I've seen
calm
across
down.
the month shoot that never had any kind of criticisms or can you do that a bit different of
Right.
everyone?
Well, that's
Everything
nice.
was first take Shane, they call
I
him.
sent, Peter said he liked my last joke, the last line, and I said to him a voice note to this effect. I said, "Funny story about that, Peter, actually on set. I didn't know that line was there because it was on the last page of the script. And I did my lines, and of course the scene plays out. And Fergal, the director, Tony, the cast turned to me. There's a pause. They turned to me, and I said, "Have I got a bloody line?" Of course, I had no idea it was on the last page, and I'd stopped reading at the bottom of page previous. So I learned the line on the spot and delivered it, and I do think it is one of the standout moments of the series.
And that's the thing about Shane. He's got this photographic memory. Even though he hadn't read the line,
hadn't turned the last
he was
page.
able to see the 4 words he had to say, and he was able to memorize them and deliver them.
And did you guys get on as cast members? Like, was there a good
No,
relationship
people
there,
think you have to be friends, and we were colleagues. We were colleagues.
Very much colleagues, and lunch times just in the trailer. Hello.
Hello.
And
Disappointed in myself. I'm disappointed in myself.
The Aussies aren't going to
I
have
fucked it
that.
up. Just English as well. Not even hard. Just an English one.
Well, look, it's fine.
Sometimes. Yeah.
Is it though?
Just go back and record yourself doing an English voice 5 times and bring it in. Next week.
Yeah, I know a freak who does stuff like that.
Excuse me, a lot of the comments on that video of my Joe Duffy impression were actually, that's not a bad Joe Duffy. That's what.
Well, I don't read the comments. I
can't.
rise above
I
that stuff. I
can't.
don't.
If you want to be mindful.
I rise above. And when they go low, we go fucking ape shit. Let's go down Ibiza. I don't know. I'm running out. I'm panicking here. Do you know, I've got a little stressed because I talk about, I have 2 gigs today. And I was like, oh God. And one of them only arrived this afternoon. So I was like, oh God, I have to do 2 gigs. So,
One of them only arrived.
yeah, they were like, oh, well, you
Like
do
bloody
this
buses.
gig.
You're waiting for
Yeah.
one for bloody ages. Not doing.
I'm never waiting long for a gig, Tony.
I could have you fucking crying.
I could have you crying now. I could have you crying. You know I could have you crying.
I love that I could have you crying is now, my feelings are actually kind of hurt. It's kind of
We had this game we called the Mean Game. We used to play it on drives, like when you're driving across the country or something like that, and you were in a car just full of like usually men, and we were young, and it was called the Mean Game, and it was
Sorry, could you just clarify a few bit of that there? You're
Yeah.
driving, usually men, you're young. Like, are you children? What's
like going off on a lads' weekend. To, like
okay,
a
lads
Rockshore-
weekend. I thought you meant like
Rockshore.
when you were children. I was like, usually in a car full of men. I was like, Killian, is everything okay? Do you want to talk?
We get in the car with some men.
Lads trip.
And the Mean Game was just that you would collectively say like the meanest thing you could possibly think of.
That's
about
very
a
fun.
person.
That
That's
is
fun.
such a horrible game.
It was so funny. It was
Your
so
friends
funny.
are so weird. Like,
Yeah.
you're actually the normalist.
Oh yeah, I'm dead normal.
They're all saying mad stuff all the time.
Well, is that not normal? Is he not a bit fucking weird?
What do you mean?
With respect. Is that like you're quite? I mean, you're not a normal guy. Like
I
you're.
think I'm pretty straight edge actually.
No,
No.
You're not.
No, like they're like lads, like men, you know what I mean? And you're like, no.
Oh, and I'm the normal one.
Yeah, well, no, I think they would be considered normal, and you're, a bit.
I'm normal.
Bit soft.
What you're saying is I'm sort of the more normal one.
No, the kind of the opposite,
Okay.
but yeah, we can go with that,
Kinda-
yeah, for sure.
Thanks for saying that, Tony. I appreciate that because I always thought it was a little bit weird. But you there saying that I'm kind of confirming I'm sort of more status quo and normal is something that really means a lot to me.
I was at a stag over the weekend, and there was a roast of the stag, and I was asked to say a few words. And I put
Was there pressure?
fucking everything into it. I put everything into. I spent so long doing it. Everyone else was kind of like, look, off the top of my head, and I was like, I had my notes. It was going on. I started roasting all the other people who were there. They weren't expecting it, and then I started roasting the stag. I was very proud
there
of
was
all.
Splash Zone.
Very proud of all the jokes that I did. But Terry was like, "Why are you taking this so seriously?" And I was like, "Terry, I have gone to stags where I have been on five-a-sides and I'm fucking putting goal, getting balls pelted at me.
Yeah.
I have been there zorbed out of the fucking building. I have been there on like football, golf, coming dead last. I have come last in so many different activities and stags. If there is a stand-up activity, I'm going to fucking bury these cunts. I'm taking no prisoners. Now, the set was okay. I was pissed, so that wasn't great. And then got a bit nervous and I was kind of looking at my feet a little bit, but then I got out of that and once people started laughing. And then also the audience were just off their fucking bin, do you know what I mean? So it wasn't great. The audience.
The lads.
The lads.
Yeah.
So, and they weren't really respecting the hierarchy of the stage.
Yeah.
So they were kind of piping up. And then they were kind of like, when are you going to rinse Bob? When are you going to rinse Bob? And I'm like, get into him. Have you ever seen a fucking roast before? Bit of fucking table setting.
Yeah.
This
fucking
is what I bet this is what
ants.
Picasso was like when he went on Stags Weekend and then they did the painting thing.
Yeah.
And he was just like, I'm going hard.
Yeah.
To his missus.
And then
I'm
they were
going
like-
hard. No, because they done paintballing. I was like almost what I do, but just a little bit different.
And then they'd be like, yeah, well, you've come last, Picasso, because he's actually, Marcus isn't actually a cube. Do you know what I mean? He's a fucking normal human being. What the fuck is this shit? Look, Picasso's come last. We don't know who won. Picasso came last. That's
You must be in your blue. You're in your shit period, Picasso.
Yeah, that's good. That's fun.
Any Picasso? Any?
But I know we were
Don't
talking
know.
about roasting and how we'd hate it, but then finding jokes that only a niche. It was a nice thing to find jokes that only like the 24 people in the room would get.
I can
It was
roast
very
someone else,
exciting.
but I don't want to participate in the roast where you do a battle.
Yes.
And you roast the person roasts you back. I did the roast of I'm Grand Man.
Oh yeah,
We roasted them. Me and Peter McGann and Fanula J roasted them.
That's good.
that's a lot
And
of fun.
that was fun.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. That's fun.
And I did that thing where you roast the other people as well.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like they're so lovely, but they're cutting with their. I remember at one time I was like jealous of because they are in incredible shape because they're
Yeah,
dancers.
they're so
and they're
hot,
wonderful.
yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, I think it was PJ. I was like, oh my god, you guys just look incredible. And he's like, no, I love what you're doing, like minimal effort, like that. It looks great. And I was just like, and I thought about it every day since.
minimal effort.
Minimal effort.
Oh
It's so
my
good.
God.
Like I was like, okay, I'm gonna think about that for the rest of my life.
I
I would
said-
turn into Alex Mack and I would fucking pour into the drain if they said that to me.
Part of me was like, that's true. I don't put in very much effort.
I made fun of Kevin's lisp, and then I said, and PJ doesn't have a lisp, but his asshole does whistle.
Oh, that's fun.
And I said that in front of his mother. So that was a bit scary.
Oh, and so in like in sort of a vengeance, I got the same hair as PJ.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Very
As a
clever.
vengeance.
It's fun as
He
well.
looks so hot right
if
now.
anyone wants to do a compilation as well, the amount of times that Killian has brought up PJ's hair and how much he likes PJ's hair, and then when you didn't have PJ's, it's like saying Jared Leto when he sees that jacket. You know that meme
Yeah.
where like he sees the jacket and he's like, ah, the big green jacket, and then you
Yeah.
see him at like the Joker premiere wearing the jacket. Looking all, that's like you. I love his
It's
hair.
true.
Oh,
I was
and then
talking
literally
about it so
you're talking about it
much.
so much, and then you manifested it into by asking the barber for
Yes,
it.
by asking the bar. It wasn't really a manifestation. It was like, so I kind of want it like this, and then pointing to a photo of PJ.
And then now you're just officially
Did you
saying
talk about that in the podcast?
No, I think I talked about
We
it to
talked to
Tony
Tony
a lot.
offline because I didn't know that you brought in a picture of him to the.
I didn't bring in a photo. No, no.
photo?
but I-
A polo.
I did a photo.
Here, that's for your fucking breath, you fucking stinky. Here you are. Do you have a photo? No, I have a fucking polo though, you fucking haggard.
No, I've been on
I got
stags
that.
where you play water polo. Like I've been on.
Yeah, you're
I've done
very
that,
activity, like zorbing. That's pretty.
Zorbing, yeah. Football, golf, which was actually lovely. I had a wonderful time. Yeah.
Football golf is one of. It just looks pathetic as a sport.
It
There's
looks, the ball does not go far.
the ball doesn't go far. The guys playing it, they're trying to kick the ball, and it's like I don't know 2
Do
feet.
you play it on a golf course?
It's like it looks like a golf course, I think, but then the holes are obviously big enough for a football to get
Yeah.
in.
So you just kick it until you get
It
to
used
the
to
green.
be a golf, well, the one we went to used to be a golf course and just made the holes bigger.
And the most like pathetic thing about it is that they like the guys who are really into it. They like wear the full. They wear like
They
football
wear a little
gear.
football kit.
Yeah, and they
Shin
have the
pads.
socks pulled up and everything. No shin pads. That would be a little bit overkill. But they do that and they're walking around.
But with a kind of paisley vest and a hat as well.
It just looks really like lads.
Yeah.
Some people just hold on to that thing. There was boys in my brother's year in sixth year who still thought they're going to get the call, like to
Yeah.
play for Man United.
Yeah.
Like, they're 17 or 18. It was like they think Alex Ferguson's going to see them in Bushy Park of a Saturday morning and bring them over.
Yeah.
Ah, look. Yeah, it's tough.
I remember
They weren't even hot.
I remember the feeling when I found out that anyone could play for Manchester United, and saying to my friend, I remember when he told me that, I was like, oh, none of us can play on the same team because like none of us can play for like, you know, I have to play for Germany, you guys have to play for, and then he's like, oh no, for clubs everyone can play for whatever team, they don't have to come for the country. And I remember the feeling of joy of going like, wow, I'm going to play for Manchester United with all of my best friends. That is going to be the best life ever. This is going to be
you
incredible.
and the boys from your class would all play.
So hang on, what you were like?
We'd all get in. Yeah.
And you were looking at someone like Eric Cantona being like, "That's a weird Mancunian accent you have there. That's a fucking weird little fucking au revoir." Did you not cop that they might all be from Manchester? Or you just hadn't put it all together.
I thought there was like a sort of a small pocket of French in the Cantonas. The Cantonas of Salford.
There does be pockets of French.
This
around the world.
charming man, this charming That's Morrissey there.
Cantonas. I know about them. They're great people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, but then you do find out slowly. And then you slowly go, okay, well, I'm not going to play in the Premier League, but I might get like League of Ireland. And then it's like, I might not get League of Ireland, but I might just like get onto the team. Might play a bit of 11 aside, and then it just slowly goes down and down and down until you're...
And what is it now? 5 aside?
No, well, last night, Byrne never losing 5-0 victory, 2 goals from yours truly after being out for quite a while. So
yours truly, is he Swedish?
You're always out for a while.
I am, because I have bad knees.
Every time you talk about Byrne never losing, you're always just back.
It's because I'm a gigging comedian, and it's very hard to get a 5
They should start calling you Badney Houston. Like Whitney Houston?
Whitney Houston, Badney Houston. Yeah.
Badney Spears is better.
You okay?
Yeah.
No.
You have absolute glazed over look in your eye.
Yeah.
Badney Houston. No, Badney Spears is better. Did you ever hear, if I was doing a quiz, my cousin come up with this name.
Are you all right? I could have you crying.
If I was doing a quiz, I would call it Quiz Team Aguilera.
That's great.
Yeah, my cousin come up with that.
Yeah.
Well, look, these streamers are for you, Omar, as well. We share the same birthday, so.
Oh, Omar and you.
I saw Omar on your story.
Mm-hmm.
Did anyone see that?
Yeah.
It looked very
I love him.
AI generated. His hands weren't done very well.
Yeah.
And I was like,
No,
Who
his
is
eyes
this?
look the same in most of the photos.
What did Omar say about the podcast being named after him and everything?
I don't think he said that yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
He might, he does listen to
He doesn't give
Tony
a
has
shit.
to first go to ChatGPT and say, what would my mystical cousin Omar, my cousin Omar who isn't real, who is real.
And
I
it's
could
also
have you
how-
crying.
I could have you crying.
what Omar Sharif would say. The Egyptian actor, piano player.
Actor. Fantastic actor.
I'm
Lawrence of
Omar
Arabia.
Sharif. Yeah.
That's good.
He's
With
so
Peter
good.
O'Toole, of course.
With Peter O'Toole. And like his first thing he does in that film, which is a great film, is he comes in and there's this guy who's been helping Peter O'Toole's character, Lawrence, get through the desert.
Yeah, what is Peter O'Toole's character in Lawrence of Arabia called again? Peter O'Toole's
they
character.
said at the time, if it was any prettier, it would have been called Florence of Arabia.
Oh,
that's what
wow.
they said at the time. But Omar Sharif's character literally comes along and just shoots this guy. Like,
Spoilers.
dead, kills him. And by the end of the film, you would die for Omar Sharif.
Wow.
That's how good like an actor he is.
Okay, yeah.
You would die for him.
Must check that out. What's it called again?
Lawrence of Arabia.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And that's nothing to do with Laurence Olivier?
No, unless he
Just
went
saying
to
the name Lawrence.
Unless he went to there.
Only one
and
Irish
did-
theatre company's ever won an Olivier Award in London, Fishamble Theatre Company, and their offices got broken into, and somebody robbed their Olivier statue.
That's awful.
So they're putting out an appeal. So if anyone out there who listens to this podcast might know someone who stole the Olivier, can you please tell them to give it back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's terrible, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's awful.
It's awful. That's. Yeah, I was probably the same person who called up John Banville, the writer, and told him that he won the Nobel Prize as a prank call.
Wow.
And did John Bannon believe it?
Yeah, he believed it.
What, flights and everything?
Someone called him up and said, "Hey, John Banville, you've won the Nobel," because he's someone who could win it. Like he's one of the great writers, and he believed it. And now I think they should give him it. They should give him the Nobel.
I hear.
Yeah, but don't give him the £1 million.
Give him the £1 million.
No, just give him the little trophy.
They should give him one of those, like the way they give like small Oscars to like Kirsten Dunst as a little thing, you know what I mean? Or no, they made one for Shirley Temple. She got like an honorary Oscar.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it was like a small one.
Yeah.
Everyone was laughing.
So I
Peter
guess
O'Toole
all
got
the
one too.
abuse was worth it.
I guess it was all worth
She
it.
got
Huh?
a small Oscar.
She got a small little, probably didn't get to keep it.
I'm so deluded. If someone did a prank phone call and said, "You've won the Nobel Prize for country fail," oh my god! No, I thought this was coming. Killian, this is clearly a prank phone call. What? Oh my god!
You won the Booker.
You won the Booker.
He was longlisted.
You won the
That'd be
fucking
good.
Booker.
Very long listed in the list of the way that the Booker looks at all books.
How you killing it stuck here? Fucking you after winning the Booker. Fuck me, man. I could do that.
I would
That's
believe
Duck,
it.
our agent. I don't think he knows what the Booker Prize is. No
I
shade.
don't think he listens to the podcast.
No shade. I don't. No, he does. When he goes driving, he does.
You probably know with the audio booker.
That's good.
Comedy Booker.
Our booker.
Hey,
He is. Yeah.
everyone all right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, no, I think I'm good.
You okay?
For a birthday special, I feel like we're not focusing enough on. I mean, is it a birthday special or is it a mindful special?
Where did you just come up with birthday special? No. Oh, Tony's birthday.
Yeah.
I
See,
thought
we're
you meant the
not even-
birthday of our
not even we-
podcast. I was like,
Not
what?
even we care about Tony.
Do you know what? The fact that you've put so much effort into even mentioning my birthday is more than I could have possibly imagined. I do really appreciate it. I mean, now it'll be over a week since my birthday that happened. It's so nice.
What did
my
Andy get
birthday.
you?
Nothing.
Yeah, that's correct.
We're hit
You're
and miss.
Getting your
We're hit
brother's
and miss.
things for your birthday.
I get him sometimes. He gets me. He might get a text off me like 3 months after his birthday and be like, "Here, I'll buy you a game in the PlayStation store." I'm like, "Oh, class."
Okay.
That kind of thing.
That's what's nice about.
Although my cousin
relationships
Omar
with-
got me something amazing.
What did he get you?
He got me the first appearance of Gambit, the X-Man, 2 Gambit toys,
What the
2
fuck?
Gambit things, in like this like fucking acetate case that's certified and everything. Like it's
By
got, like,
whom?
by the comic book grading company. They
How much
take
would
them.
something like that cost?
Be over £100, and it's the first. It's not even, and it's rare because actually X-Men 266 is the first proper appearance of Gambit, but there's a picture of Gambit like on a screen. That's the first like canonical appearance of Gambit. It's X-Men Annual number 14.
Have you been watching the Penguin series with Colin Farrell?
No.
Yes, I like
it's
it.
very good.
I like it. He's very fucking good. He's gonna.
There, like this.
What?
I don't always. Oh, no, very good.
You were all Dickensian there for a second. You went fucking.
You do it, Shane.
I haven't watched that, and
you
I
do a better
don't.
one anyway.
I don't want to watch that.
Hey, listen, kid, you gotta be. Hey, stop stealing my fucking hubcaps. Give me a fish.
He's a psycho, but it's good. It's really good.
He's going to clean up. He's absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And the fact that you just forget it's Colin Farrell, other than the fact he's got his gorgeous eyes. He'll be have done the Dublin Marathon. I'm going to be out for those little clappers. Probably
Is he
waiting
running
for
the
him.
Dublin Marathon this
He is,
week?
yeah. I'll be out
Is
looking
that
for him.
this weekend? So by the time this comes out, it's already happened. Well
He'll
done,
have run.
everybody who ran the Dublin Marathon.
Well done, everyone.
Well done,
Well done,
everybody.
everyone who ran the Dublin Marathon.
We're doing it. We're doing it.
As
comedian-
two-time Dublin Marathon runner
Yes.
myself.
We're doing it next year.
And comedian pal of ours, Richie Bree, he's doing it, and he
For the second
told me, he told me that last year in Rialto, Killian was out supporting people just by of your own volition. You weren't supporting any in particular.
Well,
you were just
it's-
out cheering.
They're not going to fuck you, bro.
It's really not. It's really nice.
I know,
to-
but I thought that was so nice.
And
of
do you know what? If people maybe listen to the podcast, there's probably a few people listening to the podcast who are doing it. It's really nice if you
They
stand
did it
there
last
and then they
week.
see you. When they did it last week, we'll be there. You'll see us.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll see your face and they go, oh, and it gives them a little boost. And I remember when I was running my first one, I was running along and it was last time and I was feeling, oh, this is hard. I saw David O'Doherty and I went, David, and I high-fived him and I actually broke the record for marathons.
Wow.
In my life.
And
As
now
in,
you know him
I broke
personally.
my own because it was my first one. And now I know him personally, yeah.
Again, back to that thing of you never know who's going to come in out of your life.
Wow.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I guess it is. I mean, I suppose so.
I'm probably going to wreck Colin Farrell's head and be like, all right, Pingu. You fucking Pingu. That's all we should. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Think of all the breakfast, lunch, and dinners you're going to have after this.
It's going to be cheating though because the whole marathon they put like loads of ice and he's just going to slide along like a penguin.
That's fun.
So
So you
when
both
he-
looked at me fucking so stone-faced for mentioning breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
No,
It was not
I'll tell you
even-
why I was
you were
thinking
so
of.
unhappy.
No, I'll tell
What?
you what
I
I was
didn't know
thinking
what
of
you
is
were talking
because
about.
I said when he
Sex
was
tape
nominated
video.
for the Oscar, when he was nominated for the Oscar, I tweeted breakfast, lunch, and Oscar, and I got very little response on it, and I thought it was a really good
That's
joke.
all.
Explain it to me because I don't know. Actually, I don't know what you're talking about.
If you don't know what we're talking about,
Yeah.
I think it's actually more fun to leave you
Okay.
You should
not
check it out.
knowing what that is because
I know he had a sex tape, but what is breakfast,
Everyone-
lunch, and dinner
He said that
in the sex tape?
in the middle of, absolutely going to town. On
I
a
think, as I
lady.
said, I do think it was better to leave him in the
Yeah,
dark, and then
well,
you just
now I
fully
know.
filled him
He's not
in.
going to watch it. He wouldn't even know how to access that. He's got all the fucking parent protection on his fucking laptop.
Anna doesn't let me browse the internet because I play too much chess.
Oh God!
I'm joking.
No, you said it now. I could have you crying. You said it.
I'm joking.
No.
I'm joking. I'm
It
joking.
was a
doesn't like
joke.
to.
She lets me fucking. She gives me a couple of like an hour in the evening. I'm allowed to fucking use it. Like,
Do some people have real relationships? The other day, I'm going to London on Monday, and Raymond the other day came in and was like, just messing. He was like, "Listen, I've had to think about it, and you're not going to London." And I was like, "Why not?" He's like, "It's too dangerous. You're staying here." And I was like, "Do people have?" We did another one the other day. He was like, "I was like, do you mind if I go to the gym or whatever it was?" And then I was like, "No." And it was like, do people have real relationships like that?
Oh, yeah.
well, I think
I'd
it's
say so.
bad.
Where
Yeah,
people
bad
are-
relationships. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's kind of like there's very toxic, awful relationships. But is there like a mid-level where people are like, no?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Ooh, yuck.
Yeah.
I'd say so. I'd say there's a lot of that. I'd say there's a lot of like, you know, I'd say there's a lot of people who have mates that are kind of like it's not even the kind of whoosh, you know, of the person's whipped, but they literally are not allowed to do things. And I think it might even get to a point where they don't even give you the reason anymore. You know, it's just like no. I'd say for sure.
Shame.
That's such a shame. If you're in one of those, don't be. That's no good. That's no good.
I mean, you don't yuck people's yums.
It's true.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like a nice way where it's kind of, can I go outside? No slave. You know, that'd be nice. That'd be, you know, that's someone who's having a kink. But if it's like, no, that's not.
The financial domination one is funny when I've seen people get interviewed and it's like the financial domination person, the dominatrix.
Mm-hmm.
And then the person next to her, she's like, he just gives me money all the time. And he's just standing there, I was like, yeah, I do. I kind of love it. And she's just like, just give me money. And he does it. And he loves it.
Who's this?
This is just people who are really into financial domination.
You send on that video and I'll send you the Colin Farrell.
Okay.
Great.
Little video swap.
Nice little trade.
Sounds good.
Why don't I get any dirty things?
Okay,
Okay,
we'll
what do
send
you
you
want?
something.
Send
We'll
me
send you
something
something.
dirty. Okay, whatever.
Do you want Katie Price, Dane Bowers?
Oh, I've seen that.
All
Anyway.
right. Anyway, look, thanks very much for listening to this podcast. If you will have missed Shane's gig, but he is also performing on May 31st.
Yes,
in
in
Vicar
Vicar
Street.
Street. And actually, do you know, my tour might be announced by the time this comes out, but we'll get to that. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
And if you want to do something tomorrow night and have a bit of crack, we will be in Workman's with the Sleaze. And here we're going to play a track from the Sleaze's
Yes, we
new
are.
EP.
Yeah,
we are.
finishing on a
Excited.
track. This is a song called...
Wait, I have a plug to get in before you play the track.
Oh, yeah, we've got a plug to get in before we play the track.
I am going to be doing the late Tony show, a toy show done right in Vicar Street on the 12th of December. Tickets are available for that, and it's going to be a star-studded lineup, a lot of surprises, some absolutely bombastic musical numbers, and very, very funny. It's the toy show we've all wanted to watch, and it's going to be on December 12th in Vicar Street.
And that is that, and that is all we have time for. So here it's... fuck. And that is... And
To
here
play
we
us
have,
out.
And then to play us out. And here we... fuck it, I'll do it live. And this is the Sleaze with a new cut off their new EP.
Lord, marry me, I met with John Brown. I kissed him one time as he lay on the ground. I stroked his rough cheek when you weren't around. I stroked his rough cheek when you weren't around. If you think I'm green, well, just wait and see what the old miller's boy gone done to me. On Midsummer's Eve by the old willow tree. On Midsummer's Eve by the old willow tree. Well, it weren't no thief, I was hungry and ate. Stole 7 steaks from the blind butcher's plate. Well, his wife always comes home from dancing too late. His wife always comes home from dancing too late. And my mom won't be proud of these things that I've done. Shun all the good and carouse with the scum. Laugh at the bullet and smile at the gun. Oh, my mom won't be proud of these things that I've done. Well, the pastor's boy was the new kid in town, reading the Bible and wearing a frown. Well, I lifted my skirt and he soon came around. When I lifted my skirt, he soon came around. Well, sweet Betty Sue got a white satin dress. My Sunday frock wasn't looking the best. Well, I stained hers with ink and I tore it to shreds. Well, I stained it with ink and I tore it to shreds. the cat didn't fall, I pushed it too hard. And it wasn't luck, I was holding back cards. I smashed the town fountain and sold off the shards. I smashed the town fountain and sold off the shards. And my mom won't be proud of these things that I've done. Do what I want just as long as it's fun. Of all the good deeds, well, there hasn't been one. Oh, my mom won't be proud of these things that I've done. Oh, they say Anne-Marie is pretty and fine. Oh, they say, ain't she a dollar a dime? Oh, they say, what a meek and God-loving child. Oh, they say, hasn't she an innocent smile, an innocent smile? And my mom won't be proud of these things that I've done. Oh, blessed are the pretty and blessed are the kind. Blessed are the townsfolk, all you can find. And doomed are the devils who follow behind. And doomed are the devils who follow behind. Well, blessed are the skies and blessed are the trees. And blessed are the birds and blessed are the bees. And doomed are the she-devils named Anne-Marie. And doomed are the she-devils named Anne-Marie.